Just sit back, wide-eyed, like you're seeing Jesus.
And welcome to another episode of, I think we're going to start calling it Wayne and Friends, but Indescript Podcast. Today's guest is one of Denver's most out comics that exist. He's out there. He's making jokes. Where everybody enjoys him. It's Cory Stevens.
Hey, thank you very much, Wayne. Thanks for having me.
No worries. We were just talking about doing DMT and having your eyes roll back into the skull part where they vibrate.
Yeah.
Isn't it fun?
I mean, how many times have you done it?
A bunch.
A bunch?
I would say probably I've done DMT and tripped out probably around 8 to 10 times.
Oh, that's funny because I technically did it twice. But the first time I did foilies with a comic, and they did not work out all that well. Like things went fuzzy, but that was about it. Second time I did it, that was full on, like you said, cartoon world.
Yeah, it was cartoon world, and I'm not sure that's the yellow DMT. There's a couple different types. There's the liquid type that's supposed to be quite a bit more intense.
Oh, have you not done that?
No, I haven't done that.
Do you just drip that on weed, or how the hell do you
I'm
do
not
that?
Sure. There's a couple. I'm not sure, but I've done the yellow DMT.
There's a lot more involved with doing DMT than you would think.
Dude, I walked out of outside of a concert at your mom's house downtown one time, and somebody handed me what I thought was a weed pen, but no, it was a DMT vaporizer within the cartridge. Cartoon world. I was like, oh no.
Oh man.
And that was had been a while since the last time I had tripped on DMT. So I was like, oh, here we go. This is gonna be weird, but you can't blast off doing that, I don't think.
Yeah, not well. I mean, I had a failed attempt because there was a person that gave me a blunt DMT and supposedly crack blunt, and I was like, oh, it's my birthday, I'll smoke this. Nothing, just got stoned as regular. So I had a dud.
Yeah, you can't just smoke it out of it. You have to vaporize it.
Yeah,
that's why you have to use a light bulb pipe or one of the meth pipes.
Yeah, well, that's the only
and
reasonable thing you buy those for.
Windproof flame too, a short one. That way you get it nice and cloudy, and then you trip back and everything digitizes down into a cartoon world.
Yeah,
depending on how much you do, I've done at some point where everything just breaks down.
Yeah, you're done seeing. Have you ever tried just closing your eyes? Is it different there?
Oh yeah, the DMT is the only one that's ever maybe been all right, well, there goes your entire consciousness.
Yeah,
you've smoked too much of something.
I mean, that's what they say.
But you always come back.
Well, yeah, no, nobody's died.
But I have seen kids get permafried from doing too much drugs, too many psychedelics at one time.
Well, yeah. You
accidentally let a whole sheet of acid get into your system. You better have a really strong mind.
I had a friend. He wasn't technically burned out, but there was definitely tics he had because one time his friend brought eye drop thing full of acid, and he didn't know it, and he was just going into the room after going to the pool, and he just grabbed this eye drop thing and
oh no, you can't do that.
4 days just straight, and he was like, yeah, dude, I never felt the same after that. I just can't.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. I
want to try microdosing mushrooms.
I want to try microdosing anything, even acid. I haven't even done that.
Yeah, my acid's. I like acid for fun, and mushrooms is a little bit more spiritual.
Yeah, so microdosing that.
Yeah, I would like to be under the influence of hallucinogens for a while now, and stop paying attention to the internet and politics. It is fucking. I mean, more drugs, less news.
Yeah, right. I mean, it puts things in perspective. I definitely need to have a mushroom trip because I've been fixating on this shit way too much.
Yeah, it is. It's a mushroom trip's oh yeah, everything's insignificant.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Do what you will, bud.
Just little space monkeys walking around here trying to figure shit out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to remember the last time I had a mushroom trip. I had an acid trip just a couple weeks ago, and that was a nice little escape for a while. But acid, like you said, it's more fun. I wasn't really being introspective. I just sat and played fucking No Man's Sky for the first time. And it was the first time, so I'm all tripping on acid. And I was like, yeah, this is the best. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna pretend I'm in another world.
Yeah, well, you know me, I love going to Red Rocks, and that hasn't really been an option this year. So the drug use has gone down, consequently. But it's like I like acid and a little. I like a Molly and acid combination for Red Rock shows, and then I like mushrooms for just like hanging out at the house for like spiritual. But also, if like I'm at the house with mushrooms, it's definitely or at the house with acid, it's like video games and candy.
Yeah.
Like squirms and like hyper visual colored video games. And candy.
Yeah. I need candy. You like
on
candy
acid? Yeah, I love sugar because it makes the taste of sugar. Like,
oh yeah, it kind of tingles the tongue. Yeah,
exactly.
I can understand that. Yeah, definitely. I've tried to do the whole just sit and play video games on mushrooms, and I just always get distracted on some other like shit. Like I'll end up
the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like staring at like I'll get caught up in just like little bumps on the wall. Like, what is that? Look at that.
It takes so long. You're like, I can play a video game for 8 hours straight. No, not on mushrooms. You can't. You can do that shit on acid because that's almost Adderall with bright lights. Like.
Yeah, I do want to do mushrooms soon. That with Kid Cudi's new album he just dropped.
Oh, I haven't heard that new one.
Yeah, I have. I've only heard a little bit of it, but I definitely want to hear the rest of it on mushrooms.
Is it that psychedelic?
It's psychedelic like his old stuff used to be.
Aesop Rock just came out with a.
I was listening to a little bit of that.
Too. Yeah, he came really out. Good. Yeah, and I want to listen to that on either mushrooms or acid.
What was that? That new music video was really good. Where he's got like the head.
I was at the gates.
Yeah, that one.
That one. Like at the moment, it was random that I saw it. Like it was one of the few times that social media served me well. I just saw it. So one of my friends shared it on Facebook.
Devil's tool.
Man, yeah, I know the devil can sometimes
it should really honestly just be a marketing tool. That should all it be. Like,
I mean, that's what it is.
We should not be allowed to talk amongst each other on there. Like there should be no cross communication between comics.
But isn't it great to? I agree that it is the worst, but it is great that it shows that people most people are the worst. You kind of you thought it, and the internet proved it.
I do think it's a difficult spot. It's a difficult place for people to express themselves.
I mean, coherently.
Yeah, a lot of people get on there and they'll be like, rah, 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 and then like they'll say some shit and in a roundabout way it'll make you think that they don't think the Holocaust happened. Yeah. But they're not like that type of person. It's just hard to express your feelings.
Well, there's a lot.
Speaking as somebody who recently was reprimanded for hate speech against the whites. Goddamn potato monkeys.
Potato monkeys.
That's what the Irish are.
Oh, man.
Italians are pasta monkeys.
Yeah. Oregano monkeys.
Yeah. Mexicans are taco monkeys.
Yeah. Indians are curry monkeys.
This is an evolution joke. This isn't a racial slur joke.
Monkeys came from the same place, but we're all just... That's the other thing that the internet's taught me is that people are a lot dumber. Then George Carlin told bit proved to be right.
The average.
If you think the average person is stupid, they're twice as dumb as you think they are.
Yeah.
And it's all about people.
You just butchered the fuck out of that.
Yeah,
let me run that through the retard filter for everybody out there.
It was the essence of the joke. It wasn't
the Carlin joke was.
I didn't
think
steal
about
the
how
Carlin
stupid
joke.
The average person is, and realize that half of the people are stupider than that.
Yeah. Okay, you got it right.
Just like everything else. Except the comedy career, apparently.
Well, yeah. But nobody gets that right except for the people that sell out.
There's no such thing as correct, and even if you sell out, you can do it correctly.
You can do it correctly.
Sell merch.
Well, no, I'm not disparaging that. I'm not disparaging that. It's just a fact. You have to sell out to a certain extent to get any success.
Yeah, and you got to stop caring about what other people think.
Yeah. It's that delicate balance of selling out but also being true to yourself.
Exactly.
Because you have to sell yourself. You're essentially everybody.
And honestly, I wouldn't mind landing a sitcom.
This is why artists think that sex work should be legal because we're selling our bodies every goddamn day. We don't find it any
Why is it always the bisexuals I'll fuck anything there? Just sex work should be legal. It's we were talking about comedy.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
this
saying
is why sex work needs to be legal.
I'm saying I'm selling my body and my mind to people.
I don't know how you're selling your body.
I mean, I'm taking my body from point A to point B to be on this stage, and I'm sweating my ass off and fucking.
You're going to bars and
yeah. But no, I'm talking about when you sell out. I'm talking about when you sell out, not in our part of our career, not where we're open micers.
When you sell out, you're just hey, By Christian Dior or whatever the twinks do.
Quit Christian Dior.
Yeah, or what is it?
Like
John Cole or Cole, Calvin Cole.
Calvin Cole.
Is that no?
I don't know any of the gay people.
Chloe.
The only one I know of is RuPaul. That's the only gay person I know.
RuPaul's gay.
Isn't he? He? I can't remember what the fuck.
I don't know. I think he does a drag race. They do a drag race.
But I think that he's also gay because he seems pretty. Like, have you seen him without makeup?
No.
Oh yeah, he looks gay as fuck. Like, it looks extremely.
Is it like Dennis Rodman with makeup?
No, it's no, because like he looks. Have you seen The Good Place?
No.
Oh, okay, good job. God damn it, who the fuck? Did you see Midsummer?
No, I want to though.
Oh, it's all right.
Was it pretty good?
Yeah, he looks like the gayest Sharpie marker. Like, that's the best way I can put of how that dude looks. Like a black Sharpie marker, but super gay and with glasses on. Like, it's fucking weird.
Like Tyler Perry, but gayer.
Yeah. Like if Tyler Perry didn't find God and didn't try to push that into every goddamn movie, that's RuPaul.
Tyler Perry was just honest about why he enjoyed live production theater so much.
Yeah, exactly. And taller, obviously taller, because Tyler Perry's almost a midget. But
what are people in Grand Junction doing for the whole 19 thing?
Are
they treating it with reverence?
See, like, this is the thing that's happened with Grand Junction, and I imagine that it's gotten worse or better depending on how you look at it.
There's a lot of olds out there, huh?
Well, there's a lot of olds on the outskirts, but the inner side of the town, city as they like to call it, is like a liberal university. Yeah, it's not a city. But it's like there's like a liberal university smack dab in the middle of the entire town, and so there's just been this like, you know,
they established an autonomous zone.
Yeah, like no, it almost like the Republicans there look at it like that a lot. Like they stay away from the middle of town now. You got the mall on the outskirts. You got the fucking rednecks on the other outskirts.
A little Comrade Cafe down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not getting that bad. They're like libertarian liberals. A lot of them, you know what I mean? Like they're pro business, but they're just like, you know, the gays are fine, and then the people on the outside are just the same ones that are still like.
There's a lot of that.
There's a reason Christian... there's not a pot shop in Grand Junction, is what I'm saying.
They don't have pot weed shops?
No, the closest one is 30 minutes away in Palisade, and there's one in Fruita now, which is another like 20 minutes, but nothing in town. And there's a reason for that, because there's still a lot of Republicans.
I mean, I'm from a similar type of place, but like all the old people are rapidly dying. But there's a lot more diabetes in the South.
That's the one thing I wish we would like. I wish we would have said fuck the restrictions. I wanted the old people to die.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what they're doing where I'm from. They're like, I was talking to my buddy down there. He runs a business like, you know, like a gas station and like a bar and a restaurant. And he's like, nobody gives a shit. Like the health department, and the sheriff's, like, we're all on the same page.
I mean, especially Florida, them like fucking.
The only thing they're not allowed to do is do events, but hopefully we're gonna get to do one in South Carolina.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, they'll.
South Carolina doesn't seem to give a flying.
I haven't heard of anybody getting tickets at any of these states, like Florida or Carolinas. Anything on the Southeast, I haven't heard anything about people getting.
I haven't heard of any mass death from any of these events, like in Florida.
Like there's a lot of catching and like the exponential spread. There's not like a shooting amount. Wait, what happened?
You talk not into mic.
Oh, my fault.
No, you go. You can take it, like move it.
Yeah. But I mean, Wait, what were we talking about? The group thing? There hasn't been a mass
spreader events.
Yeah,
I want to start doing super spreader events, comedy shows.
Like
I'm about to. If they don't let me,
I think that would be red flagged and shut down immediately.
I'm going to be obligated to do it, mostly because I kind of want to experiment and see like what would happen if like I had a microphone and was killing in front of like 250 people and the cop showed up. If like I could successfully like use the microphone.
What would be
like? Make the cops come over to our side. Like, come on, guys, sit down. It's a comedy show.
What would be funnier? You killing and the cops showing up, or you bombing and the cops showing up? Because it would almost seem like they were saving you.
There's an excuse.
Yeah. We've come to save. We heard there's a bomb in here.
Oh, look at you. That's a good joke for a cop. Look at you.
And then they would tackle you.
No. I'm pretty wily on stage. You know me. I'm one of those animated comedians.
Yeah, I know.
Squirrel out. Shimmy on out of it. I really hope this summer they're gonna have to do it after the first wave of people die with the vaccine and they get it dialed in.
I'm not doubting it.
I'm not saying it's if it happens, who cares,
dude? Some of the most liberal people I know are saying "fuck this vaccine." That's when I know I'm like, all right, the people that are just bow down to the authority and are praying for the mass to be these shields of hope. They're the same people. So if they're saying fuck this, I'm like, all right, maybe there's something to this one. This ain't polio, motherfucker. This is new and it took half a year.
I love how the government's in a bid to be progressive and modern, we're gonna give people of color the vaccine first. That sounds like it's an experiment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bad move. That
doesn't sound progressive at all.
And you already have a fucking wrong.
The CEO
I can't wait.
of Pfizer was called out for not taking the vaccine. He was like, I don't want to cut in line. Okay, buddy.
I can't wait for the conspiracy videos of showing the footage of Joe Biden getting the vaccine, and they're just pointing to it. See, it's just water. That's all it can be in that syringe.
Joe Biden just has a full-on cardiac arrest, anaphylactic reaction.
He just we got air bubbles in there. I'm sorry, Mr. President.
We got a rookie nurse working on the
Kamala is just fucking
office of the president-elect
in the back. Fucking
that kind. It's I didn't get a single delegate in the entire Democratic primary. I'm just gonna happen to be president.
It's just gonna happen.
Look at that, Black Lives Matter. Top cop, straight to the top.
Oh, fuck, dude. You have no idea how much I hate that whore.
I don't know anybody who likes them other than, boomers from the Midwest that are them old Democrats.
Yeah. Them old Democrats. Yeah.
The septuagenarians running this fucking this mental house.
Yeah, exactly. But fucking, I see people celebrating her, but nobody's she's great. They're just hey, a black woman got in. We're cool.
That's the whole point of this. Look, criminality, but it's a black woman. Look at her.
Well, that's why they I almost guarantee that I'm waiting for Pete Buttigieg to get into the fucking transportation secretary, and then just bridges start falling everywhere, and he's just
I get to be in charge of trains? What?
Yeah, what? I get it. I'm gay. I'm gay. Who cares if roads are falling apart? I'm gay.
I'm not even sure he is. It looks like his boyfriend's being held hostage every time he's
I know, right? Yeah. That's the difference is Polis. I know that motherfucker's gay.
And physical hostage.
Dude, Polis looks like your gay chemistry teacher.
He's gay too. I keep forgetting he's gay. He's a bear though. He's he's down here at Big Daddy's.
He could probably make a condom out of his pubes. That's how he rolls.
Interesting.
I know, right? Boy don't shave. He's one of those dudes that there's no hair on his head, so he has to keep hair everywhere.
How long do you think it's before a publicly gay candidate gets caught in a straight scandal?
Oh, that's gonna be great. I never thought about that.
It's gonna happen. The universe won't let us go without that happening. That's the big scandal in the future.
Well, that'll be great
because he was gay, and we found him with his dick in some lady's mouth.
Mouth will be nothing. He can blow that off.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I just came in her mouth.
Look, I just needed a place that was warm for my penis because it was cold. And this lady's mouth was available.
Look, the heater was out. I was in the Oval Office.
Look, I am an ass man. I love pounding ass. I would never... Yeah.
Wait, how long... So, this is a good question because I think it's within 20 years. I'll say 20 years. That we have... a lesbian president. We will have a lesbian president before we have a gay president.
See, I like actual lesbians. Some of my best friends on this planet are lesbians, or at least were lesbians at certain points in time. But I've hung out with the covens, I like to call them before, where it's a bunch of girls that are just constantly lesing out.
Yeah,
and they're interesting and fun people, but I can't put a finger on it. It's because they're truly unique. It's never forced. I feel like it's forced a lot of the time.
What do you mean?
Days. And it's not necessarily lesbians. It's more of the people that are more queer, I guess. I feel like I feel like you're reaching for an identity at this point.
Well, some people make it their identity. It's not that they're choosing that to be the identity. It's just reword that. They're not. It's not a choice, obviously, but they do play into it a lot. I do notice that, and it becomes. It's the same thing as.
It's not even a sexuality thing most of the time. It's like a personality thing.
Yeah, like people who are like the femme thing or things like that. Yeah, you're kind of like people that are straight, but they're like wearing skirts and shit like that. Like people that just want to be different. But
Exactly.
I mean, but those people need to be allowed to do that because most of those people are in their 20s, and that's what they're going to go through, and then they're going to figure out that that's just not them at probably 30.
I just don't know. It seems like there's a pipeline directly from that to like, you know what, like the government should seize the means of production.
Well, no, wait. Where? How the fuck do you go from there to an economic position? That's just societal stuff.
Like if you look, I feel like it's all like the same way. Like you consider like laissez-faire capitalists with like far right wing people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but that's when I'm like it happened. Like if you want to say that, then you have to say that the downfall that we're seeing now is from like the other side of that of when we were in the 70s and 80s, and you actively like. People, it's the same thing as when people make their identity their kids. That's what we're looking at right now. People that in their 20s, and that was a mistake in the 70s and 80s. We pushed that on society, and it led to trickle down economics and things like that because people didn't have a choice when you got kids to think of anything else besides hopefully getting it from the top down of your bosses.
Yeah, like I actually lucked out. My parents winged it.
Yeah,
I don't know the past tense for that, but it worked out. But.
My
this
dad
idea
by
that
accident.
you have to do anything, I feel like the answer is almost always individual freedom over everything. Just give the individual person freedom to do what they want, and that's fine.
But when the individual person goes together with a group and they, let's say, monopolize something, then it is bad for the overall.
The government.
Well, no, but like corporations do that, dude. Like
I know. And then when they start working together and it's corporate,
yeah.
That's
we can agree, Citizens United is the worst thing
I wouldn't say the worst thing.
One of the worst things in the past 20 years.
One of the top
in the
10.
past,
It's one of the top 10 in the 21st century.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. And like it was. I mean, I listened. Like I was like one of those people that like full on. I can understand the argument of it. Because I listened to a couple things, and I listened to what the judges actually had to say about it. And even Kennedy's like position, the only reason that he even wanted it to go, because he was the deciding vote. Kennedy was the deciding vote on Citizens United. And the only reason he did it is that the people that brought it to him worded it in a way.
Because somebody had his child at home with a gun to his head.
Yeah, I mean,
you will make this vote.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, you will. Kennedy, you want to see?
Hey, we got a one-way ticket for your daughter to an island in the Caribbean. It's run by a guy named Jeffy.
But it's hard. Like it's hard to look at those kind of things, and most people just forget about them. Just like most people forget about the National Authorization Act, and that like Trump's been using that to fucking fruition, and nobody, and like...
I'll tell you what annoys me, though. Like, these people that think government corruption started 4 years ago and ended on Monday of this week.
I don't think a lot of those people
Obama
exist.
was a fucking war criminal, as Bush was a war criminal, as Trump is a war criminal, and I just wish people would, like, understand this.
My favorite statistic about that is that Obama's still, in the first 4 years of being in office, he deported more... Or no, wait, it was the last 8. In the last 4 years... He deported more people than Trump did in his first 4 years. Like, Obama's not... Yeah, no. Obama's the one that did the National Authorization Act.
Like, I grew up in the construction industry. I, like, have good friends that, like, were actual, like...
illegals.
Yeah. And it's... They feared Obama just as much as they feared Trump. It was just more publicized under Trump.
Yeah.
Because it was like, look, he's bad.
But I mean, this is the thing with what Trump did. Like, yes, statistically, Obama was worse in the numbers, but Trump has like done exponentially made it crueler. And it wasn't just him; it was the fucking Jeff Sessions who ran that fucking department at the beginning.
That's the big critique amongst like a lot of Trump supporters. Their biggest critique are the people he surrounded himself with.
It was also him. He was down for it.
Oh yeah, so was Obama. That's what this idea that Obama's worse than Trump. They're both war criminals. They're both equal.
See, this is the thing: it's the details that are worse. It's the cruelty that's worse. The statistically, and yes, Obama's done more drone strikes, so you can take that up to that, and that was more
specifically Obama. Just the whole agenda that like everybody from Henry Kissinger on down.
But it's a difference of cruelty. Like to me, it's a difference of cruelty. That's the reason that I didn't want.
I don't know. Henry Kissinger was dropping Agent Orange on people.
Well, I mean, like back, but I'm talking about like in the past. Henry
Kissinger's immortal soul still walks this planet.
I know.
Somehow.
I'm just like, no. I'm saying
evil prevails.
I'm saying in the past 20 years, the people that we've had to deal with it are actually like doing things now. And like, yes, there's people that done stuff in the past. I fucking hate Henry Kissinger. I hate, 100%. Like every single one of these people they're all corrupt. It's that, and I'm almost happy that Trump was inept. I'm happy that he's an idiot. That was like the greatest part about that whole thing.
But like we're just gonna see like Biden's bringing in anti-trade people, and that's like
I know,
and that's what's so bad because like I do promote working class ethic in this country, and like you do need the middle working class. And like, say what you will, like Trump did take on China in a certain sense.
Yeah,
it was like we're gonna like
That was one of the only things that I was like, and it was mostly, and I mean, he hated them, but the actual implementation of that was done by the people around him. Like he didn't know how to actually do it. He was just told how to.
Trump,
do
like
it.
any president's a figurehead. Obama was consequential. Obama ran shit, but it was also like, oh, you have a kill list? Like, that's running shit a little too hard, you know? Like, let's get back to Dopey. Not sure if he can read a children's book.
You know that Clinton had a kill list twice as long. And it included many more Americans.
Who's killed?
Yeah, an accomplished. Yeah. Her accomplished kill list is bigger than Obama's fictional kill list.
Yeah,
supposed kill list.
We gotta catch up to that Hillary bitch.
Yeah, God, my wish list is getting really low.
Dick Cheney. We gotta.
I think Dick Cheney is probably the
one of the most evil people of the 21st century.
Oh man, I mean,
have you ever seen that episode where Sacha Baron Cohen, Who is America, and he's doing the Israeli Mossad guy?
Oh, dude, that's one of the best episodes.
And he's like,
I'm a big
now
fan.
you're known for one of the world's most prolific terrorists. You killed more terrorists than anybody on planet. Including 700,000 potential terrorists.
Yeah, no, that man.
One of my favorite bits of all time.
Oh yeah, no, Sacha Baron Cohen kills it.
I think I heard Borat 2 was shit, but
no, it's good. The Giuliani thing isn't everything is cracked up to be.
Oh, that's what I heard. But
but besides that, hilarious.
I just hate how it's like time to be political. It's like, come on. It's like we gotta make the fucking. We gotta make the guy who's saying to throw.
It was always political. You saw the dictator. You remember the dictator at the very end?
Yeah, but like the Borat character was not supposed to be like the dictator was supposed to be political.
Bruno, fucking, he tried to fuck Rand Paul.
Yeah, but like it was.
That was the same thing as really Giuliani.
But like.
So that's just as political.
But it wasn't as pertinent. I think you're right. It was equally political, but it wasn't. Timing wasn't as pertinent.
No, you were right about that. Well, that's the thing is that's what marketing is. That's what that all thing is. That you got to jump
hate how
on.
Everything's seen through those lenses these days. It's not.
But But what is capitalism? It's the optimization of everything for profit. And if you're going to do marketing and you're going to have this machine called the internet and social media,
but it's not.
You're
it turns off certain people. Think about how many people that turned off. I mean, like at least like 40 million.
Everybody, but so many people still watched it. So many people still watched it.
But how many people are really watching like Sarah Cooper's
And it doesn't matter. And also
special?
The other thing is that it doesn't matter that you watched it. You heard about it. It's in the zeitgeist now. So people are going to randomly see it on Amazon one day. If they haven't seen it, they're going to watch it. That is what marketing is.
I just have such fond memories of it. It's like I watched with my dad.
Oh yeah, I watched the original Borat recently. Fun. It's way funnier.
Throws the Jews down the well. He goes to like the fucking rodeo and shit. And, like,
well, dude, that was my favorite. The best part about Bruno is the end when he fucking does the wrestling and fucking kisses.
That was really dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, dude, did you hear the back?
Alabama white. Have you ever? Those parts of Alabama are no fucking joke.
No, they're like string you up on a fence and leave you to die in the cold.
I've never seen so many people get tasered so much in one bar in like 2 hours than I did in Anniston, Alabama. Like insane. Like, and I went to like some biker bars down, like some private biker clubs where the bartender has like a fucking gun on his hip and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun, but it was very white supremacist-y.
Yeah. Well, did you hear the background story of that? Because he's like told it on radio shows in a while. They had like a secret door in the ring that like the moment that shit was going down, his lawyer like was like, get the fuck out of here. And they had like a secret passage to get the hell out of there. And he left the fucking lawyer who is like from that town in the middle of all of that and then just left and didn't see him until he randomly saw him on a Opie and Anthony episode. Which is it was like 3 years later. He's like, oh, I remember you. Yeah, you left me at the fucking wrestling ring, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I want to start doing content like that. Like, not necessarily like that, but more content. Like, Alan was over here. He was on the show, the episode before this, and we're trying to get cameras and do more sketches and shit. Like, I want to do one. I want to do Fap City, the starring Indigo Savage, Little Ass.
Oh, God.
I still need to produce that. Because that's marketable. Like, you trot him out there on the internet and you do it right.
I mean, he's great because it's all ad-lib.
Yeah, well, when he actually sits down, if you can actually get him to do bars and like figure out how to do that the right way, that would be a lot of fun.
That's gonna take you 5 years.
Yeah,
minimum.
Well, so is anything worth doing. I mean, the content.
You got a 5-year plan?
I want to do Christmas for the Canceled, like where like I could be Alex Jones, you could be Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh God!
Like you get who else is canceled?
I'm just gonna say Hitler for 2 hours.
Lawrence Southern. You get like all. David Duke.
Yeah, oh no.
Who would be David Duke?
Well, that was, dude, like, I think that was the one thing that I wish that people did more. I was watching, I randomly caught a Howard Stern segment where did you ever see that thing where they had the 4 squares with celebrities, but they had them with, like, the worst people, like
Hollywood Squares?
Yeah, Hollywood, yeah, they did, Howard Stern did Hollywood Squares, but he had, like, one of the head grand wizards of the KKK. He had the people from Westboro Baptist Church on there, like the wife and the daughters, like, and
did you see like the documented or the doctored memes for Time Person of the Year, where it was like Kylie Jenner, Derek Chauvin.
Oh my God!
Like COVID-19.
It was like that, but with Hollywood Squares. It's kind of like, just think of the worst people, and they were gonna be on that thing. But my point is that like Howard Stern's always done that, and like that was something that's definitely been lost, is the ability to have people that are the worst on your shows.
Yeah, well, it's not even the worst. Like,
I'm not the worst, but somebody you disagree with on a fundamental level.
Yeah.
To that craziness, like
I do mean those people are kind of deplorable, but at the same time,
I like the kind of on that.
Well, I mean, you know, everybody has redeeming qualities. Everybody thinks like you could push just about everybody if pushed. Like, yeah, I'd probably throw that person off the side of a building.
Yeah,
if push comes to shove, but. The thing is like there is no such thing as moral superiority. We're all human beings. We're all capable of doing horrendous shit.
Yeah, like, but the reason for doing it means something when it's your everyday thought. It does,
but you gotta like understand that like you have that capacity.
And those people can probably be great to their friends and family. I imagine they are fucking nice ass people. But there is a moral superiority when it comes to something that somebody can't choose. Yeah, but there's
really not a lot of those people. Like, I grew up around those people, and they have, like, zero political power. You know they do. But could you imagine going to Congress and being like, you know what? Let's just do a white.
But that's the reason.
No political power.
That's the whole reason. Like, you think it's a minority, but it's kind of a minority, but it's a scary minority. The reason that most Republicans didn't say that Biden won the election.
How many active KKK members do you think are in the country?
How many skinheads? How many? I mean, dude, Proud Boys is almost like the leader of the Proud Boys is almost. I know that it started out good, but it has turned into a white supremacist place.
I don't think it's white supremacist. The leader of it's not white.
But no, I'm saying, but like there's a lot of people that are wearing racist memorabilia, skinhead memorabilia, like things that are like indisputable. Like I've been seeing what the fuck was that thing? The 6MH like. 600 wasn't enough symbol on a lot of people, or 6 million wasn't enough people, is in reference to like the Jews. There's a lot of anti-Semitism. Like it started out good. I know the origins of it.
It started out good. It started out as a joke.
But it's turned. But like that's the thing, is that everything that turns from one thing, it always turns into another, and they've turned into something really bad.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm not saying they're
good, but I'm not saying I don't think they're.
This is the problem. Is that it doesn't matter if a lot of these people hold these beliefs truly. Groupthink is the scariest thing in the world.
Exactly, and both sides are guilty of that.
But the thing is that like the left is annoying with the groupthink. Yes, they destroy property. They do things like that.
Dude, they
but the
destroy
right will
billions of
shoot you.
dollars
They
in
want to
property.
hang you.
I don't
The only
think
people
so.
the left
I don't
want, the
think so.
only people the left wants to hang are millionaires and billionaires. That's the only people they want to hang.
Yeah, but even then, that's bullshit. Those
But
people,
it's better. But it's better than the wanting to just do it for something that you didn't choose to do, like
I
fucking
don't
people
know
over. Like
anybody on the right.
I would love to murder Jeff Bezos. I would do that in a heartbeat.
I think that there's more of a propensity on the right for individualism and wanting to be left alone, whereas on the left there's more of a propensity for authoritarianism and telling people what to do.
No, they think that, but the right loves to be in a part.
Which side is taking down episodes of South Park?
But which side is fucking just like actually stabbing people at these protests?
At this point.
The
fucking Antifa guys killed people in Seattle. They walked up, stalked a dude, and killed somebody in Seattle earlier this year. In fucking Denver, that fucking security guard for Pinkerton or whatever pulled out a gun and killed a
That wasn't a leftist, though. That was a Pinkerton. That's a rightist.
No, he was a leftist.
You just said he was a Pinkerton.
But he was a hired security guard for them. But he was a hired security guard for that
but
place. But as an
place.
individual person, had made leftist posts on social media.
Okay. Well, then you can put that to school shooters like to do that. School shooters have almost been right-siders.
We're not going to school shooters.
No. But if you want to put what they're posting,
we're talking about politically motivated.
Oh, those are politically motivated. They always had manifestos that are right-leaning and racist. Most of them. 90% of right. You cannot think of a school shooter that was leftist.
Yeah, there was one in Denver earlier this year.
There was that woman that wanted to shoot up school, but then she just killed herself. She was a leftist, but she didn't actually go through with it.
I'm not here to go tit for tat on
but
both sides are fucked up. Both sides.
It's not the same.
But yeah,
I don't believe it's the same. The right is racist.
I do think it's.
And when it's done for something that people
can't. The right isn't racist though. Like,
yes,
they
it
have
is.
Moved away.
Dude, the Southern strategy is based off of racism and Christianity.
You really
now
the Southern strategy used to be Democrats are racist. Like, I think there's more of a bigotry of low expectations on the left side of things.
Well, for low
things
expectations,
like
you can't have a point.
It's like these people
for the cause of violence, it's always the right.
I don't think it's.
When it calls of violence for something you can't choose. When it's calls for violence for a political party, the left can kind of do that. But
all of the right libertarian people that I speak with.
Libertarian people, I am talking about Republicans. I'm talking about right-wing Republicans.
Have you not seen? If you don't like Republicans, you should love Donald Trump because he's destroying that party right now.
Well, yeah. Believe me, I love
he's
that irony.
Oh, fuck, you're either a Trump supporter or you're
But he's not a libertarian.
I do agree with you. Like
he is an oligarch just like the rest of them. You know that's right.
And the old septuagenarians of the Republican Party that are
still running it.
But they're quickly losing power. The same way that
the Democrats of Nancy Pelosi and all that bullshit.
They're both losing power, and
they're still holding on to it.
But I feel like the people of our generation, the people of our age, the right side are more libertarian, more individual freedom. And the left is more authoritarian, moral dogma.
No. There's authoritarian on the right, but it's only for Christianity.
Which side of the aisle is demanding that South Park episodes be taken off?
Okay, 90%.
It's not Christian conservatives.
Yes, they are.
It's left. No, it's not. The people demanding South Park episodes be taken off
what are you talking about? Fucking
we can't let people show the image
just because
of Muhammad.
Scientologists are in, just because
people show the image of Muhammad.
Dude, Mormons rose up a storm about fucking the Mormon episode. They fucking wanted that thing pulled in a bar. It's just that it didn't succeed. That's the difference.
Yeah, but the left do succeed because they have control over the cultural institutions.
No, they have the control over the media because a lot of the things.
That's what's scary. And if this episode shows Muhammad, that's disparaging of
and they still aired it.
No, you cannot get it on HBO. It's gone. It's off of every.
But they did air it initially. What I'm saying
is, who's demanding episodes of Joe Rogan be taken off Spotify? It's not right-leaning people.
Who's been demanding for language to be censored on
Traditionally,
TV?
it was the right. That's why I left.
And
that's why both of us left
Grand
Junction and came to Denver.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I got to Denver and people were like, "You can't tell those."
And
jokes.
like, who puts more people? I mean. Who puts more people in for drugs? Who started the drug war?
I am not disparaging that, but I'm saying in the current time, it seems like the left is more authoritarian.
It's the
right libertarian people that are like, yeah, if you want to smoke.
But those aren't the majority of Republicans. Just like socialists aren't the majority. Like, dude, Joe Biden's not a socialist. Like he's a Republican pretty much.
No,
he's not a libertarian, but he's a Republican. Trump's not a libertarian. Trump's a Republican.
The neo-uniparty. Yeah. The neo-uniparty, but it's gonna be, what's going to be your response? Like, this is an if, but what if Donald Trump pardons Snowden, Assange, and Ross Ulbricht?
I'll be great. Fuck yeah, but he won't do it.
Dude, I think he might. I think
No.
he might do one or two of them.
No, he is so depressed right now. He's not. The only people that he's pardoning are the people that could like help him when he needs to get pardoned.
Like already given out a couple.
No, my what's his name? Michael Flanagan.
Michael Flynn.
Michael Finnegan. Michael Flynn. Like, dude, Michael Flynn should have gone to jail. And he just, he lied to the FBI. I don't care what you think about, like, what the FBI
he was
does.
one of the people that went up and was like, hey, the Obama administration is selling weapons to Syrian rebels, i.e.
No, we're talking about something different. That was prior to that.
That's why he was hated by the Obama administration.
Yeah, but he was prosecuted after. I'm saying that he just lied to the FBI. And he did consulting and lobbying business for Russia and did not disclose it.
Oh, come on.
I'm not. No. That's not going to Trump. I'm just saying that is proven that he did lobbying work for Russian oligarchs, and he lied about it. And he lied about it. No, he lied about it. He needs to go to jail. No. You lied. No. Like if I lie,
they used on him. Did you know
dude, if I lied, this is my problem. If I lied about something like, if I lied about taking a little bit of like, money out of the register and they didn't find out till a few years later somehow, I would go to jail. That's what I'm saying. It needs to be equal. He's a rich man. He lied to the police.
He's not a rich man. He's a politically connected man.
But he's rich. Dude, he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire.
Maybe like
he's a millionaire. He's set for life. He's set for pretty fucking good.
That's nothing for these people.
But what I'm telling you is that he is rich enough to get out of it because of the people he knows, and that should not be. If he lied to the police, he needs to go to jail.
Like you're talking to
So
somebody
if I lied to the police, I would go to jail. That's it is simple.
All about how these people operate.
But you're saying that it's not a big deal, and it should be a big deal. It should be a big deal for anybody.
Like it's not nearly as big of a deal as arming.
You can't go for. I'm talking about. I want those people to go. I want all these war crimes to be done. But your argument is to say that because this person didn't go to jail, he shouldn't go to jail. That's not how it should be.
No, what my argument truly boils down to is like if you think Trump is as capable of accomplishing as much corruption, criminality, and war crimes in his short 4 years of power as the entire Obama, Bush, Clinton power machine has been capable of doing, you're being naive. It's nowhere near as dangerous. I agree
that all those people should go to every single one of them should go to jail. The amount
of criminality that the Trump administration's capable of getting away with is nothing compared to what the bipartisan, neoliberal, neoconservative parties have been able to get away with for the past 3 decades. It's nothing.
I agree. What I'm saying is
Trump, while corrupt, did a lot of things out of spite against that group, and that was highly entertaining to watch. To see Trump get up there and say, we just made a good weapons deal with Saudi Arabia. We make the best weapons. They've got a bunch of oil. It's a great deal. It's like, did you guys hear what he just said?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I
like it because it delegitimizes the state.
But what I'm saying is that, yes, all those people should go to jail. So when you catch one of them, go to fucking jail.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen because
Michael Flynn should be in jail. Roger Stone should be in jail.
Hillary Clinton should be in jail.
Yes, I agree, but nobody actually took her to court.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Like, none of these people are going to do it because they're above the law. Like, this whole go to jail thing.
And it should.
And they shouldn't do it against each other because, A, it disrupts the show, and I like the show. Let these people run about and do their little
But it actually matters to a lot of people. This is the thing about making it a show.
It doesn't, though. It really doesn't.
No, it does.
How has it really affected our lives other than these authoritarian lockdowns and like, ooh, there's a big spooky virus out there, we've got to destroy your dreams, other than them being able to dictate edict, like
the taxes you pay, the amount you get paid at work, things like that. No,
that's freedom and economy. That should not be in their hands. They should not have anything to do with that. That should be.
But every country where it's not, you just see mass corruption in the private sector.
No. Every country where you have more control over production with government oversight.
When you have money from those corporations,
because it's the corruption amongst the two. Because they have to be able to collude both the private and the public sectors. When they collude, that's when corruption happens. If you get rid of one and you delegitimize one, like the government, then the other one is more negotiable, and things become more prosperous. You just got to negotiate. The thing you got to be careful of is trade deals and like the standard of living in other countries and shit like that. But they keep selling us out on that shit anyway. So like at this point, like they've rendered themselves nothing more than busybodies.
Well, no,
it's not like the corporations are going to stop growing because government exists. You might as well
no, but you can break up monopolies. But the government can break up monopolies.
Corporations have only ever paid me. They've never taxed me. You know what I'm saying? Or
they tax you, but they tax you by lobbying you and making you pay more taxes than them.
I've only engaged in like mutual trade with corporations, whether they're paying me or whether
they are paying. But the fact that they're not paying you a living wage
I've never had Walmart be like, "Hey, I'm going to get into your paycheck before it goes into your bank account."
What are you talking about? They do that with their private healthcare and shit like that.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's also a product
that is a tax, and I don't pay into that, and I still get taken out of my thing. I don't have it. I don't have it.
Exist, there would be a lot less.
You think that, but it's not been proven.
It definitely
but for the working man, in places where the government is more inside of the things and they're not as corrupted, and you don't have lobbyists to the asshole of fucking lobbying them to do all this bad shit like water and all these things like that.
I think if
you have a better look at Norway, look at Sweden, look at those places. They're economic and everybody but everybody gets paid a living wage. Yeah, that's the number one thing. I don't give a shit about any of this other stuff. All this other shit I can give a fuck about. The living wage, that is 100% corporations making it to where they can pay you less so you can get taxpayer money to give you fucking
get into it. The Norwegian unions argue against minimum wages because it allows for more free trade.
We'd have to get unions in here, and there's such a corporate propaganda against unions in this country that nobody.
Fuck shit up real bad, like police unions. They can protect really shitty things.
Yeah, but in the long run, for workers of a middle class, unions are most of the time good.
And I agree to that for the most part, but they also have to be.
They all have problems, but there's a difference
between. It just becomes another
a
power hierarchy at a certain
billion-dollar corporation, and they are like, if somebody is against you having any power, that's a bad thing. Like, I get your argument against. There have been some unions that have problems, but when the other side doesn't want you to have something because it gives you a little bit of power, that's when you know there's more good into it than there is bad.
That's the thing.
Anything corporations are against, I'm for.
There's no good bargain middle ground right now. It's either like public sector unions, which are way lopsided and can keep murderous cops and shitty teachers on payrolls, or it's way lopsided the other way, whereas corporations is taking absolute advantage of their employees. So, but it seems like it's hard to find a middle ground there because the power dynamics seem to always favor one or the other.
But what I'm saying is that when it favored the unions, and that was for a very...
I think the idea of a W-2, that whole tax form, is just so the government can get to your paycheck before you can.
Well, that is one part of it. Also,
you know what I'm saying?
Also
like,
they make
if you were able to
they make the tax code.
If you were empowered and educated and knew how to more freely negotiate your wage with a company, you could go in there and be, how much are you paying these people? $15. Like, what's your turnover rate? And all that was public knowledge where you could see how much they turned over and like what it was actually worth for them to have an employee, and you could see that, and you were educated on how to determine that. It says, well, it looks like here you guys turned over this amount, you need this kind of production. It looks more like I'm worth $17 to $18 now, and you can negotiate your wage. You were empowered and educated.
And
I believe that's more effective.
Well, that's where education comes in.
Having the government be like, no, he needs at least $12 an hour, and they're like, $12 an hour, and they're like, I guess $12 an hour, good.
But that's a long-term goal, and most people
everything.
You're talking about being educated, and you just admitted that most people are fucking stupid.
Well, yeah,
most
but
people,
that doesn't mean you can't educate them.
But you have to I hate this term because you shouldn't look out for stupid people, but we kind of do as a society.
Bring Darwin back. Take off all the warning labels. Remove warning labels.
If there's something I'm going to get canceled for, is that I wish that COVID would have taken out more people.
Encourage cigarette smoking at gasoline pumps.
I'm trying to do this bit right now, literally, that I'm just like, everybody before the pandemic was talking about how there needs to be less people. And then nature gave you a way to get less people, and you didn't take advantage of it. Because above all else, whatever political ideology you can assume, the number one problem in this world is that there's too many goddamn people.
I don't think so. Have you ever? You've been to Kansas? That place is pretty fucking
No. I hate that argument. That's the problem. Is that you're looking at places anecdotally. I'm talking about that we are just running out of room.
There's unfuckable dumb people.
There's just too many people. No, dude, people lose value. The more
people are
what happens? Okay, you talk about a free market. What happens in a free market? When there's too much of something, it loses value. The same thing happens with human beings. There's so many of us that nobody gives a shit. Look at fucking China and India. They got so many people. You will see video after video of people getting murdered in the street, and nobody looks a goddamn blind eye because they do not give a shit.
Well, they've got to beat us some way.
But I mean, like, it's the same thing
Kung
here.
Fu is pretty
We
good.
are at, what are we at? 700 million?
America?
Yeah.
No, I think we're
350 million. 350. Well, I don't know why.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
But yeah,
a lot of that are kids and learning disabled people. They don't count, you know?
They're only like 15% of us. and then there's just then there's just regular retarded, which is like 70% of us. And then like 10% of us are at least educated enough to game the system.
Half-tards.
Yeah, half-tards. We can game the system, we just can't prosper from it.
Well, I mean, you know, you're bi. There's probably going to be a lot less reproduction going on in the future. Have you seen the men that exist these days?
Well, that was my idea. I think somebody,
not a whole lot of fucking going on.
I think somebody heard my bit and went back in time and implemented it in the 90s.
It's bad when in our entire community of people, the most likely person to reproduce is Jeff Cohen.
Yeah. I thought China was going to do it. Turns out Japan did it first. They're making everybody gay, and then we're following next. Now China's going to do it. Because China always follows what Japan and America do.
Yeah, except, you know, cultural freedom and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but that's because they started off with fascism, so, I mean, it's not that easy.
Fagism? What?
There wasn't a lot of fags in China back in the day. There were maybe
I
lady
wonder
boys.
What that scene is like. It's something I actually have thought about that. In like those oppressive countries, like I'm sure like the gay club scene has got to be just fabulous.
Oh well, dude, yeah.
Like
you ever seen Middle Eastern gay clubs?
Risk of like death involved with sucking dick. I'm sure the more exciting it is. You know.
Did you ever see that? Dude, have you ever seen fucking Middle Eastern gay clubs? I've seen, dude. Middle Eastern gay people don't fuck around. They're like, we're butt fucking right now. I'm using my tears as lube from the fear of getting bombed.
Like, I could make it send it if you want.
They use U.S. drones as dildos in the Middle East.
There's a lot of the explosive gaydom.
Yeah. I mean, everything's just like when you're in an oppressive regime, everything gets cranked up. Look at America, the gay people in America in the 80s and 90s. Like moment that
they kind of invented gay culture, the American gays, right?
No, there's been gays forever.
Well, yeah, but like open gay culture.
Oh, okay, open gay. Yeah,
is American, right? Like,
well, no, I mean, if you look back far
maybe?
enough, there was a lot of gayness in like Roman times and Greek times. Greeks were really the first openly gay, like,
tends to happen towards the end of those civilizations.
Yeah, you make that argument, but I mean, I think it's nature saying you need to like slow your roll for stop fucking around and making kids. Well, I truly think that like you should have.
Man, like they're all just holes, man.
So if it's not a choice, you can make it not a choice for people, and then you could like bring the population down, and then all the unadopted kids would get adopted at some point. That's what would happen.
Yeah, you know what the Romans and Greeks didn't have? House music.
I mean, they had their...
They didn't have chemically optimized meth.
They didn't have but they did have a type of plant meth. They definitely had that. Yeah, that's what that not Soma. That's a Star Wars thing. Fuck it. There was a drug. It was that drug that went extinct. There was the painkiller one, and then there was a speed one.
That's not an uppers. I thought that
no. There was two. There was the upper one, and then there was the painkiller one that was like a fucking opiate kind of thing, but different.
Or heroin and meth.
Yeah. Exactly. But just plant versions of it. We are the first civilization to synthesize our opiates.
We're going to make that shit pure. We've actually isolated the exact compound under the smallest molecule. And we're going to sell it en masse.
That's always the funniest thing. We are the greatest culture to optimize technology for things that don't really fucking matter. Like video games, drugs, TV, fucking...
jet skis.
Yeah, jet skis. But haven't gone to space since the moon.
I don't know. Oh, Elon's working on that. He was like, give everybody fucking internet with the Starlinks.
I was hopeful of that, but he's such an egotistical dick that
they all are. He's at least an entertaining one. He's not like Jeff Bezos, where like
he's just an evil man.
Yeah,
he's just evil Xavier. That's what Jeff Bezos is. He's like that's how you know that he's evil because he's the Xavier that can walk.
I'm actually trying to get an internship with Jeff Bezos. So.
Well, you better start getting on your knees and sucking that dick because it's not happening after this podcast.
I just said I wanted to pick him up by the hips.
I said earlier in this podcast.
I could probably just pick him up like this. It could be like, let go, Wayne.
I don't think you're getting that. I said earlier in this podcast that I'm gonna murder Jeff Bezos if I ever get the chance. If I one day I wake up, I've been knocked out by a ayahuasca trip and there's a random sniper rifle by me and off in the distance I see Jeff Bezos walking to his plane. I'm gonna take that shot.
Jeff Bezos is just frolicking in a field.
Why? I got $1 billion.
Big ass head.
And I'm just like, oh my god, this.
That's the guy who got wealthy and was like, I'm gonna do HGH.
He's so rich. He was the only billionaire that didn't need to get hair plug-ins. That's the funniest part about Jeff Bezos. He's the only one that was just like, fuck it, I got so much money I can stay bald. Fuck you guys.
This is like, it's more of a brand.
Yeah, yeah. I'm literally
He's like the
Amazon
Joe Rogan
symbol.
of bald billionaires.
Yeah, he really is.
You gonna go to Austin, try to do Joe Rogan's comedy club if he opens one up down there?
I mean, obviously, but
I want to be friends with Joe Rogan. I feel like I could.
that's what everybody who won't be friends with Joe Rogan
I don't
thinks.
feel like anybody. I feel like there's a lot of people in our comedy community.
Well, in ours, but but
that
there's
are
also
like,
a lot
I
of
don't wanna be
people.
friends with him.
But there's a lot of people that do, especially a lot of the newcomers. Like, you got to remember that.
I do like how the factions are forming. Like, there's a lot more people who are just willing to be complete and total assholes, which I enjoy.
Well, I enjoy. I'm in both. I can see that's what's nice about being biased. I can just navigate both camps.
You're naturally apt to go between both worlds. Yeah, like, I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of people that aren't gonna like you.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. There's still people that don't like me, but like I can navigate. I mean, I've got a lot of liberal.
And here's what's nice: we have an avenue to hash it out in a healthy manner, and that place is called Facebook.
Yeah, that's why I don't interact that much in there. Like, I really try not to.
It's a terrible spot. It should be used for promotion only. That's why I like Twitter, because Twitter is strangers, and you can just like be a complete and total asshole. And like,
but that's the problem with Twitter, is that you shouldn't be able to be that kind of asshole without repercussions.
My pronouns are Twitter are it and that.
I wish that there was no such thing. I mean, I don't want to say that. There should be things for private stuff, but when it comes to speaking with others and stuff, I still think that it shouldn't be anonymous. Like, you should stand by your words.
Well, yeah, but like, I just don't like how Facebook's so
Even if
tightly coupled to like it's not used as a promotional thing. It's more of like, oh, look at this, look at that, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
more
it is
so
that.
than it is like, you know, there's some people. I think Brad Galley's been being really funny with it recently. I think some people are starting to figure out how to be funny with it, but a lot of people just use it as like for non-funny, non-promotional means.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was originally for. It was just it wasn't supposed to be for promotion. Like, Twitter was designed to be that. Whereas Facebook was designed originally to just be with your actual friends. Then it turned into, you have so many people that you don't know that are your friends on there that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like I actually got zucked out of my first Facebook profile. I've got to go down there and like back it all up and shit.
Oh, really?
Get all the photos off there. But yeah, I went back a long time. There's a bunch of friends on there. I need to figure out a way to fix it. But like, I couldn't get back in there, so I just started a new one. So I've got 2 Facebooks.
Oh, well.
Both of
Most
which
people do.
Both of which are incriminating.
Yeah.
I didn't learn my lesson. I was like, I think I'm going to lean harder into this one. I believe all the governors in the United States belong in Guantanamo Bay. Post.
that is one thing. There will never be we'll be the first generation, because we got it in our like 20s.
Before and after is what we got. We got to like, I remember like in middle school, like, remember MySpace? Remember Tom? Remember that shit? You know, guess who's never done a fucking congressional testimony?
Yeah.
Tom. He's never been drugged in front of Congress. Be like, what the fuck have you been up to, Tom?
Yeah, now that you mention it, I do miss Tom. Tom stayed the fuck out of my way.
It was harmless.
It was the best. Yeah,
harmless.
Tom never told me what to say. He didn't tell me about the election.
Tom was never like,
Tom's all like,
Tom wants you to know that
you should vote for Biden.
Yeah. Tom wants you to know that this information about the election is disputed. Fuck off, Tom.
Tom wants to let you know that this meme has hate speech. That never happened. You're 100% right. But that was
the
before
good
people,
old days.
Like, that was the Wild West days.
Yeah, dude.
Like, god damn. Nobody really understood really what it was
Yeah,
and what it was
like
doing.
Brand new, you know.
And I think it's changes for the worst.
Yeah, now they're gonna be like, so you made these posts as they're processing you into the FEMA camp. They're gonna read you the post.
You really think? I don't think there's a FEMA camp. I think
I don't know.
If there is
what
a FEMA,
I fear happening is that there's gonna be a situation where they're gonna be like, oh, you want to come to this concert? Where show us your vaccination proof. You know, that's gonna happen. I'm not looking forward to that. That's es no bueno.
But.
So, you know, this is America. There's going to be Mexicans, and they're going to forge those papers.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be great.
Get on it, Lewis.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't trust.
Lewis has, like, in crayon, like, I took my certification.
I know another close Mexican of mine that forged papers for said person. So he's better at it than
I
it was.
am CDC.
Yeah. No, but you are right. I am scared that they are going to put up, like, you got to show that you got vaccinated to go to a store. To go. I mean, they won't do it for like King Supers and shit like that, but like for events, oh yeah, it's gonna be a thing that you need to be vaccinated.
Well, that's how it starts too. Like, and the comparison I keep using is like we all still take our shoes off at the fucking TSA checkpoints.
Yeah,
shit like that. I'll just be a psyop, you know. Here.
No, you're right. It's just more and more secure. It's more and more security theater. Like that's what it is. Exactly. That's always what it is. And people.
My favorite fact is like the TSA has like a literal 97% failure rate. Like,
yeah, I know.
Tested.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Israelis have like commandos that like look you deep in your soul. Like, you got a bomb on you in airplane today? You have bomb? No bomb, Mr. Taliban?
I swear I don't.
Exactly. Yeah. No bomb, Mr. Bisexual. No gay bomb. No make everybody kiss. Maybe a small. Maybe a small.
All right, I got a small gay bomb. All right,
I got a little gay bomb. It's potpourri. It smells like Elton John's jockstrap.
I knew it. I don't know why I went from...
Monsieur Gay Terrorist. Come here.
Wait, well, you just went from Arab? I went
French,
to fucking...
I went a little French.
Yeah.
Monsieur Terrorist.
Monsieur Terrorist.
Yeah, homosexual terrorist.
Oh, God. No, that's going to be a scary thing. But I do think we'll be done with masks in like, 2-3 years.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a certain segment of the population that's going to always be the people that are currently wearing their masks by themselves in their cars.
Well, yeah.
It's going to be hard to get those people back into the normal boat. You know?
I mean, germaphobes are going to be like, oh man, it's going to be hilarious. Every 5 feet, have you been vaccinated? Have you been vaccinated? Have you been vaccinated? Like, that's what germaphobes are going to be like in the next fucking way.
This is why we need to build wealth and become famous. That way we can skirt the rules.
I know.
As is incumbent upon every famous person. Or you can be
like Tom Cruise and yell at your crewmates to fucking get their shit together.
I almost have the volition that was staged. Did you see the viral video that went out last week?
I didn't see the video. I just heard the audio.
Well, no, but there was a viral video last week where this chick that owned a bar in the Valley out in L.A.
Oh, you mean the parking lot shit?
Yeah. And so like this week you got Tom Cruise like on a mysterious audio record.
Great jobs.
You motherfuckers!
Yeah.
He's like, do you know how many dicks Lord Xenu had to suck for us to be here today? God damn
it! I love that the moment that came out, everybody just compared him to his character in Tropic Thunder. Like that was the first move, and it's just like
Tom Cruise is in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, he's the fucking you don't remember? He's the
that's one of the best movies ever.
He's the TV producer. He's the movie producer, dude.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, he's the greatest character in the show besides fucking God damn it, Tony Stark, dipshit. Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, fucking goddamn.
That movie's great. You could not make that movie today.
No, I watched that movie on acid one time, and I've never cried laughing so much. That movie's ridiculously funny.
I'm just a dude playing a dude.
I don't break character. All right, we're gonna get stuck in a fucking quoting mission. Let's move on to something else because I'll just quote that movie all goddamn day.
Oh, COVID.
I know,
are coming out. Have you been doing Zoom shows? I'm trying to get...
I did a hybrid show last week.
That sounds stupid.
It was. Well, it was as stupid as an open mic, because that's what it was.
Jesus.
In the sense that there was 4 people booked on the show, and that was my audience, plus the people that were running the live stream.
Who's doing these things, and why are they doing it?
People who are desperate to do comedy. I'll say yes to anything. I say yes to anything almost.
I mean, I would say yes to it too. People don't invite me to do shit, which is why I feel like I can sit back here on my throne of knowingness and be like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
exactly. Nobody's inviting me to do them.
Well, that's what I said too before I got invited to do them, and then I just say yes. And it is like the parking lot shows are, you got to get used to them because they're different in the sense of just like, you got to take beeps as laughs. Because that's weird. And flashes of light is laughs. So you almost got to take visual cues. It's like playing a racing game where you don't got the feel of the car. You just got to do the visual cues of the road. And Zoom shows are just sad. They're just the worst. But I've only done one Zoom show where it helped. The hybrid show, I will say, helped because you were on stage, so I could move around and actually act like I was doing a stand-up show. When you're
just doing your beats in your head and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But doing it in front of a camera, like where you're just looking into a laptop dead-eyed, that shit's sad as shit.
Yeah, I just like, and that's like, when is there gonna be like another? When is the reality gonna be like? Oh, people just like go to comedy shows just like they did in 2018. Like there's like
That's gonna that's the thing is that
it's
the
got to be
moment
at least 2025. Like barring complete and total societal collapse, I would imagine 2025. They're like
no,
it'll be
I
like
think
depending on like how much people still talk about it.
this is the thing is that people like stop giving a fuck very quickly. And so
Which is fine, by the way. 2025, I'm only going to be 34. It's
no,
not like I'm going to be too old.
I think it'll be sooner. I think it'll be 2022, 2023. I really do.
Just before it's like back to normal, like Red Rock shows, like normal.
Just for the, I mean, at least in America, because Americans like this whole thing has been posterity. There's been a couple people that are holding